Hello everybody and welcome to the second/third episode of the UnlockableZ podcast. Today I am your host, Mike. With me as always is Jay.
Hello.
And with me as always is Phil.
Alright there.
We've got some interesting things to talk about today and sort of breaking news only happened in the last couple of days. Phil Fish, the guy behind Fez and the upcoming Fez 2, has had a bit of an online spat with journalist Marcus Beer, who what's that? Annoyed Gamer, as he's more commonly known as. It was like on the Invisible Wall show on Games Trailers. He basically referred to Phil Fish and Jonathan Blow, the guy behind Brain and stuff, as Blowfish. Kind of having a go at the pair of them for being pretentious and stuff like that. Fish responded with a bunch of tweets.
Well, just before I said, wasn't the reason he was getting at them because they weren't given any, they weren't commenting on Xbox One now going to self-publish indies.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what he was referring to.
Yeah.
They wanted comments from them because
now that Xbox is
was going to allow self-publishing for indies because that was obviously one of the main reasons Phil Fish had issues with.
Jonathan Blow was very vocal about that as well. It's obviously that kicked off a Twitter war. Such tweets as boasting about the success and how those guys aren't beholden to media leeches like you, in reference obviously to Beer and his cohorts. And then one of his last tweets, which obviously sparked most controversy, reads exactly as compare your life to mine and then kill yourself. Which, anyone saying anything like that is going to get, people listening. People are going to suddenly pay attention there. And it has since been, apparently, it's apparently a quote from Futurama. Once again, it's another case of sarcasm isn't easily read when
if it was sarcasm and it was a quote from Futurama, then why did he lock his Twitter account so no one could read it?
Yeah.
If you weren't already a follower, it's like, no publicity is bad publicity. I think it might be.
Well, I think that it's exactly as you say there. I mean, you say a comment like that on these, various internet forums, especially if you have a massive following, people are going to pay attention. It's obviously bringing up a classic motor mouth, Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux's never said anything evil, but he certainly said things that have since. I remember when Fable was due out, and it was you'll
watch
see
the trees grow.
Exactly,
real time tree growth. Every single action you make would have a consequence or effect throughout it. It was going to be this massive fucking real time thing that was going to change your life, and then it was just a very standard action.
It's like if you've played a Zelda game, you've played something better than this already. Yes, I know Fable has its fan base, and I think the harmless games, they're not my cup of tea. But I say they've definitely got a place. They're not awful.
They've got a place. They feed most out of work British comedians.
Exactly. But once again, Molyneux is he's just since backtracked on things that he said, and we've all had a laugh and a giggle about it. However, when a developer starts kicking off like this, you do have to hold them to what they say. Which brings us on to the news that swiftly followed it, that Fez 2, obviously the sequel to the very popular Fez.
Very anticipated.
Very massively anticipated. Has been cancelled. A lot of people assumed it was because of this spat. But Fish has since said, "Oh no, I was always planning on
it seems more like this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
But why would you announce a game a month earlier when you're thinking about cancelling everything? Why would you bring out an announcement and get all this like, oh yeah, excellent, Fez 2, can't wait for that to come out now, I love the first game. Actually, I'm going out of the games business and forget about that.
Well, I mean, Fish has got a reputation. I don't know if you guys have seen Indie Game, the movie.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. In fact, no, I have. I watched it in yours once.
Yeah. Now, Indie Game, the movie's very entertaining. If you haven't seen it already, look it up.
It's like the director's cut or something.
It is
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's available on Steam, I think, for quite cheap and stuff like that. But it's certainly worth a watch if you're into the gaming industry, if you'd like to see how indie games are developed and created and the hoops they've got to jump through to get their game out. It's really worth a watch. But Fish is in that, and the portrayal of everyone in that film, like Jonathan Blow and the guys behind Super Meat Boy, they seem like really genuine dudes, and and whenever Fish is on the screen, you can tell that the director, the editor, whoever's there, is struggling to paint this guy in a positive light because he's so abrasive and
lacks the passion.
I think, if anything, his passion is too strong, and as we've witnessed, the man clearly can't take criticism, and he's in the wrong industry.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of brings me neatly on, to indie games as a whole. I mean, the past couple of episodes, a lot of games we've brought up the stuff that we've really enjoyed. I've been in the games yourself with Prison Architect, myself with Hotline Miami. We've mentioned one or two of those. Rogue Legacy, Chivalry.
Shadowrun Returns.
I suppose it is indie, but it's based on an old license.
Yeah.
But it brings it, as I say. I mean, a lot of the people in the game press, a lot of people that I seem to speak to, seem to be finding a lot more enjoyment from indie games now.
As innovations.
Exactly. Do you think that indie games are the best creative avenue now? Are they destroying AAA?
It's the only way we can have creative games, because they don't have the massive budget behind it. They don't have the publishers breathing down the neck saying, we need this to sell this many units.
They haven't got the checklist they've got to follow. This has got to have this, it's got to have this, it's got to have this, because everything else has got this.
Guy on the front cover with a gun. I mean, it's the only place you're going to get innovation, because they can. And that's why they experiment.
They've got the freedom to do it.
You just have to worry about ones that are successful, not becoming innovators anymore.
Becoming Darth Vader to their sort of Anakin Skywalker. It is the worry as you hear about like these smaller developers being scooped up by the likes of EA. Isn't Rovio part of EA now? Not Rovio. PopCap. PopCap obviously started life as an indie developer, releasing these.
It's not done very well for them.
But no, that's it. I mean, it's changed their kind of outlook. The way they develop games has changed drastically, and they're now they have to answer to the big boss, EA.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you compare Plants vs Zombies to Plants vs Zombies 2, which is now going to be free, but microtransactions all over.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's not. I was really looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I will still be giving it a go. I can't boycott anything to save my own life. But the fact is, it is disappointing to see the hand of the evil publisher getting into what used to be
monetize everything.
Exactly. I mean, we're getting to the point now where obviously you play a lot of these free-to-play mobile games, and they are just paywalls. You're in there, and it wants you to spend small amounts of money. I mean, do you think that is going to have
all the hooks for the whales? That's what we call them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whales.
It very much seems to be the way a lot of things are going, but in certain games, it's not a detriment. Don't know if anyone's played Warframe.
I have a little.
Heard of.
It's pretty cool, third-person shooter action game, 4-player co-op. It's completely free. It's going to be coming out on PS4 and stuff. I've played that quite a bit, and that's all done. That is microtransactions, but in the way that you can pay for the stuff you're going to get, or you can work towards getting it.
Yeah,
you know.
Tribes 2 did the same thing as well, and that was really good. Free to play multiplayer game. It was a versus game, not co-op game. Yeah. You could earn the in-game credits and buy the stuff, or you could just pay money.
Yeah, it's like, and because of the kind of game it is, it is quite a well-made game. It's a really nice-looking game for something that's being offered for free. It's the kind of game people will play to keep going, rather than just going, I immediately need, the best weapon.
I think the very best example of it is Team Fortress 2. Because it's all aesthetic. It's just, there's new weapons now that you can buy the packs and they have certain things on them. It's not that aesthetic anymore, but they're all in keeping with the game, and they're made by the actual community. And they're getting the money from it as well, That's fantastic. You support the community, you support the developers, and it's a free to play game, and all it is just like silly hats, etc.
But to be fair, it wasn't free to play from the start.
No,
it made a lot of money for those first, because it was 5 years before it went free to play.
Well, it's just obviously Valve once again proving how loyal their fan base is. I mean, Valve's one of the few AAA developers out there that people still have a lot of faith in.
They very much seem to almost still have the indie spirit, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, for me at the minute, I find myself drawn more towards indie games because they are taking risks. They are. I'm drawn more towards indie games now because they're taking risks. They're showing us new ways to play games. They're being mean. They get old school games were fucking hard. Splatterhouse 2 was hard. That game didn't want you to finish it. It would try and kill you every step of the way.
Forget Dark Souls, Mike. Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
That's the hardcore game right there.
But we are looking at a new wave of games very similar to that. I mean, obviously, from a gameplay perspective, FTL is nothing like Ghosts and Goblins, but it is just as fucking evil.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm making lovely progress. Again, I'm halfway across the galaxy. Die! Yeah, every alien in the vicinity now wants to destroy my ship, and you die, and you can quickly hit restart because it's a game that you're compelled to complete despite not having it.
I will be.
Exactly. And I think that spirit is lost in a lot of modern games now. They're like, you look at stuff like Call of Duty, you look at stuff like Resident Evil. I mean, okay, there's a hard difficulty in there, but it still isn't a real challenge. It's just making the bullets hit a little harder as opposed to changing the structure of the game to make it more exciting. Yeah.
Things do more damage, that's about it.
Exactly.
The patterns very rarely change. The actual way the game is played never changes.
Exactly. These roguelikes, like FTL, like Legend of Grimrock, and a couple of other ones.
I really enjoy Legend of Grimrock. Looking forward to the sequel.
I'm not going to lie, I've not made much progress on Grimrock. It's a hard game.
Very hard game. Like Dungeon Master and Isle of Holder. Atari and Amiga.
Yeah, proper old school D&D style. And something sorely missed nowadays.
Going back to what Jake said before about Steam having the indie spirit, I think it was quite amusing you said that actually, because they have the monopoly on all of PC games digitally, pretty much.
Oh, well, what about EA Origin?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's right there. Get to the battlefield and that's it.
You do make a good point. However, like that's been pointed out by Gabe himself, that's currently being adopted by the console makers. If you're going to have a restrictive DRM, then you have to make it comfortable. For the first and they've done it brilliant.
They've got the monopoly because they do it so well.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, no one else comes close, and their community things that they have now, like now the game hubs, community hubs for each game, and now the trading card. I'm not really into trading card thing, but
I'm not into it now. But as soon as I get a couple, I know I'm just going to go. Well, I need to get the rest of them. I put like 90 hours into Terraria before they added cards, so I'm going to have to go and get the cards now.
But it is a really good point. I mean, when you log on to Steam and you do see a game for, today I picked up, last night I picked up Mortal Kombat Complete Collection. It's only been out a couple of weeks and it's already £10 off on Steam. And it's like, okay, it's a 2-year-old game. It's a brilliant game.
And I will say, at full spec on the PC, it looks gorgeous.
Man, crisp 60 frames per second.
Oh my god, it's... Even just watching YouTube videos of it, you can tell, you're looking at it going, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Although I've heard the story mode cutscenes are terrible
Not
quality.
started it yet. What I have noticed of really poor quality are the character portraits and stuff like that on like ladder mode. They seem really pixely. And it's like, he's clearly just ripped them straight from the console.
Just out of curiosity, before we go, I'd like to see the story mode cutscene.
I'm gotta try that out. Yeah, we'll find out how bad it is and post it as a comment.
Yeah.
I can see you putting a slideshow of pictures. This is what it was like.
Anyway, if I could just bring it back to the point there, I'm just going to take a moment now to just ask yourselves if any favourite indie games at the minute that you'd recommend to the public out there?
Well, so I've just started playing Hotline Miami, as evidenced by episode 1 of Jay Can't Sleep. But I'm really enjoying that. But in general, my favourite indie game of all time is Cave Story. It's an amazing game.
Cool.
It may as well be the king of indie games with the reputation it's got.
Yeah.
It is the big one, and it's I don't know if you could still call it indie now that it's had releases on like the DS and stuff like that. But as a game, that is such a fun game.
Cool. Phil?
Other ones that I mentioned recently in previous casts. I don't know if you can say Shadowrun Returns, but I think I'd rather talk about that later.
Fair enough.
Played recently.
Sound. Myself, I'm going to bring up just a fairly obvious one: Chivalry Medieval Warfare.
That is an indie game, isn't it?
That's right.
It's an absolutely amazing game.
Yeah, it's made by a bunch of guys in UDK, and in my eyes, in my opinion, it shits on Call of Duty, Battlefield, any other of these first-person like competitive games.
It's so much more visceral.
Exactly.
Many a fun Sunday we had.
Yeah, and many a free Sunday more when you guys can get the swords back out. Come on, I'm the only one out there flying the flag at the minute.
Me and Ray had a game the other day, and we had a great time on it.
Oh, okay.
We had a 64-man server, and it worked amazingly.
It is a lot better now. There's been a few more patches. The game is evolving slowly but surely. And it already rivals any AAA multiplayer experience.
I'm currently on my PC on wireless, so I've always kind of gotten really annoying lags where I was just jumping forward,
right,
and occasionally just jumping forward straight off maps and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a way of getting a much better connection sometime soon, so I won't be playing until then, but I will be playing again because I was really enjoying the game.
Chopping off heads. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Going down the fisticuffs, like that last game we had, I ended up being the king, being protected by the rest of the team at the end of the match. And we were outlasting for ages and ages and ages. I had 4 guys in front of me with tower shields up, while they were protecting from the arrows that were getting shot. And then it got to the last minute. I thought, right guys, we've done it so far. I went down to my hands and fists, went out with my fists and ran to the fountain at the other end of the enemy base and just started pummeling guys like this, and still survived and won the game. It was fantastic.
Well, Phil, as we all know, you cheat. He totally cheats. That's why he always gets a better score than us. That's the only reason. Obviously, that's the only reason.
I got parrying skills, you
know. Well, anyway, I think we're going to take this opportunity to have a short break. You're going to be hearing a piece of music from Mega Man X. I believe it is Spark Mandrill's stage. Enjoy. Welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed the piece of music. Say, it's one of Jay's favourites. He's a big Mega Man fan.
I love my Mega Mans.
You like your Mega Mans?
I do love my Mega Mans.
What about your Rockmans?
I really do like my Rockmans as well.
Yeah.
My favourite was Mega Man 1 on the NES.
The original Mega Man?
It was absolutely Cutman and Gutman.
Gutsman.
Oh, sorry,
Gutsman.
Say that.
My friend lent it to me. I went over to his house and he lent me because they were all there and they could do all the levels. They couldn't do Iceman. And I was like, let me, and I'll do it. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll play through it. So I went back and practiced Iceman. Did it quite easy. I was like, why are they having trouble with this? It was one where blocks disappeared.
Yeah.
And then I did all the levels. I couldn't do Gutsman. I could not do it.
That Gutsman's one with the
underground
and the conveyor belt things that drop, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. And I couldn't do it for the same life. Went around there, and then we did the game between us.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That's what I used to love about gaming. Going round to your mate's house and everyone had like, well, I can do this bit.
Yeah.
So you pass it to them for that bit.
Yeah.
It's like, but they can't do that bit, but I can do that bit.
Yeah.
So I'll do that bit. And I miss that about games nowadays. I'm open with the ability to have someone drop in and go, I'll do this bit for you in the PS4. I'm hoping it kind of might bring that back a little bit.
Yeah, I think it will. I'm loving that. I mean, it's just been...
I'm looking forward to watching you play Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Skitting you when you die on the easiest guy.
Mike! Anyway. Mega Man's great. Great piece of music. Glad you all enjoyed it.
Mega Man powered up on the PSP is the best PSP game.
There you go. The recommendation from Jay there. Pick it up. But anyway, another piece of news that was announced today.
Sorry.
Yeah. The giggling comes later, Jay. Let me say what it is. Basically, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. The director Motomu Toriyama, in an interview with Famitsu, revealed that she's going to have bigger boobs because, and I quote, he wanted it bigger.
Yep.
Like she's gone from a C cup to a D cup, and I've just got to quote one of the character the animators, Nobuhiro Goto. He says, "Yes, her chest jiggles. Since everyone can decide what costume she'll wear, you can make sure it does. By the way, since Lightning swings her arms when you change her weapon in the menu screen, that's a recommended action for surefire jiggling. To see it even better, it could be useful to equip a small shield. Look forward to it."
I think I will. Wait. You mean we're not excited about this? I am.
I'm not obviously against titillation, you know.
I said,
seriously, Final Fantasy, the one thing I thought Final Fantasy's been missing is bigger boobs and jiggle physics. No, I think you can concentrate more on getting your game back to being a good story. First off.
Yeah, but even though she's gone up a bit, she's probably still nothing compared to Tifa.
Well, no, but bringing it back, as I say, I don't think it's... To me, it's not an issue of titillation. I watch a lot of extreme movies and stuff like that, featuring a lot of nudity, a lot of violence, and all that kind of thing. However, I do see how people can find this really fucking offensive. Not just because her boobs are being made big. I mean, that in itself is just crazy misogynistic. But from a canon point of view,
after when she was in that other world.
Oh, right.
See,
If I Alan boob job.
See, I don't have a problem with it in that aspect. It's the fact that if they hadn't have gone out the way to go, yep, we've made her breast bigger, no one would really have cared.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that they've come out and go, one of the big features of this game is she's got bigger tits.
It's like they are that desperate to sell it to us now that they're sinking. I mean, it's one of many outrageous statements we've made about Lightning Return so far.
Yeah.
I've heard it compared to Dark Souls. Didn't you read something today?
Yeah, according to, I think it was Goto again.
Yeah.
The first thing that...
Oh wait, I think that was Toriyama, the...
No, Goto was saying the first thing Toriyama said was we want to make it better than Skyrim or something.
Okay.
I think was the quote. But that's... What is it? There we go. That was... what's his name? Yuji Uemura, the Wilderness lead planner.
Right.
During the interview he said, the Wilderness is designed with a natural open world style of play. Toriyama's first instruction was beat Skyrim.
Toriyama being the same guy who removed towns from 13 because they were too much work?
Yes.
Right,
okay. Makes sense.
Totally. It's like he's heard the criticisms of 13 and gone, do the exact opposite, and it's like, no. What made old school Final Fantasy so good was its combination of open world and linear tracks, and, as you've just stated, Phil, awesome storylines, stories that you can follow, characters that you can get behind. I mean, I know I've already said I don't want this to turn into a 12 passion match, but where do you think Square starts to lose their way with the Final Fantasy series?
10-2.
10-2.
I enjoyed 10-2, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. The fight system was brilliant. The whole dress spheres was really good.
The battle system was amazing.
But I enjoyed it more than 10.
The battle system most certainly. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of 10. I love 10's storyline.
I enjoyed 10.
I didn't. It was me.
You hate 10. Yeah.
I like Blitzball. I thought Blitzball was great.
But 10-2 is really where they started to see dollar signs instead of, let's create something. But then we are.
What was the first game after the NX merger?
Well, I was going to say 10-2 is both the first Final Fantasy game since the NX merger and Hironobu Sakaguchi.
Since he left, just 10 the last one.
10 was the last one. I think he was exec producer of 10. He didn't direct. I don't think he directed anything after 6. But he was exec producer on all of it. Definitely had much more hands on.
So 6 was his swan song.
No,
I
mean, he obviously 7. I mean, like a lot of people don't know, but like Death of Aerith, the Death of Aerith, was very much inspired by the death of his own mother at that same time. And I mean, 7, 8, 9 is to him his crown of glory. He feels that is the best Final Fantasy game he's ever made.
I'm close to agreeing. I really do like 9. I like how it kind of went back to the style of the originals, but
with the 4 characters and stuff.
Well, even just it's like there's a red mage, there's like a knight, there's
a old school battle.
Exactly, and in fact the black mages was a big part of the story point of it.
One of the best parts of the story.
Exactly, it was almost like a callback while making it better, and it's not my favourite Final Fantasy, but it's very close to it, and I loved the characters in 9. I loved the story got a little bit weird toward the end for me personally.
Yeah, Disc 3 was difficult for me to get through.
Disc 3 was just like 3 bosses, that's all. Wasn't 9 3 or 4 discs?
No, 9 was 4 discs.
Oh no, 4 was just a couple of boss fights. Disc 4 was a couple of boss fights.
Yeah. You should go try Disc 2 as Xenogears, then come back to me.
Wasn't that just load of text screens or something?
Text screens, you killed God, maybe, I think. No, exactly. It's very confusing.
Try not to spoil it for me, because that's something I very much plan on playing in the near future, something I never completed.
It's one of the best RPGs ever made.
But bringing it back, I mean, because we've all just right there gushed about several RPGs that Square have made well over a decade ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I saw the trailers for 13, I got super excited like I do every time they release one.
Yeah.
Then I played the game, it was horrendous. And now it's happened again with the trailer for 15. I find it really difficult to get excited. I can't help but get excited about it.
It's been designed all this time as a Kingdom Hearts version of Final Fantasy. How is that going to come? Is it going to be an action RPG?
Well, I read an interview with Tetsuya Nomura recently, and he said, no, it is still a turn-based battle system.
They're just changing it all at the development side.
What we're seeing in the game is how you play it, but it is also a turn-based classic Final Fantasy game.
Is it like jumping around?
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here going, how it looks incredible. It doesn't look like it plays anything like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I've played before.
But he's claiming it is. He's claiming you're going to play this game and it's going to feel like Final Fantasy. This is what we did. And as I say, I've said this to you before, but I feel like...
he feels like Final Fantasy 13, he feels like Final Fantasy.
But Tetsuya Nomura did not work on... He did the character designs for 13.
Which was good.
His part was 13 Versus, wasn't it? That was
exactly. Yeah, he designed the characters for 13, and that was that. That's his main thing in the Final Fantasy series. He's a great artist.
Oh yeah, he is a character designer. Apart from his thing about belts.
Well, he likes
characters to have belts.
His belt fetish has gone out of control.
I'm assuming he designed Lulu in 10. Because her dress is made of belts.
Yes, yeah. A little bit, he's allowed to like something.
And going back, massive tits.
And massive tits, but once again, at least he never said, and the great thing about Lulu is she has massive tits. He was like, no, the great thing about Lulu is that she's like kind of a stubborn mage, and
the great thing about Lulu is she had awesome plushies.
And of course, but needless to say, Lulu was a three-dimensional character.
Yeah.
Lightning is not.
Do you know what though? I haven't played through all of Final Fantasy 13. I've played the first 6 hours maybe. And I don't dislike it as much as everyone else does.
Yeah.
Mostly for the fact that a lot of people's complaints with it is it's too linear, it's the corridor. But then again, I don't really go out of my way to do side quests and stuff in Final Fantasy games. But, at the beginning of the game, I really liked Lightning as a character at the start. I found it interesting, just that, it's like the best in the division of whatever.
Yeah.
And, I found that really interesting. But obviously, I haven't played enough to see.
Well, I'm going to say right now, you've played 6 hours, and that's probably the best portion of the game you've played right there, because what you just played, just multiply that by 10, and then after that, you will get to the open worldy bit for a little bit, and then you'll get a little bit more corridor, and then you'll finish the game. And you're talking about how Lightning is, part of this core and all this kind of thing. Yeah, you'll never find out about any of that. If you want to sit there and look through, tons of bloody codex and stuff, fair enough. But
I think we've already established I don't do that.
But there we go. In Final Fantasy VII, we didn't need to read the codex to find out what Soldier was. Soldier was explained to us throughout the game, and it became... It was something you did.
Was it ever explained why it was capitalised like that? Because that always irritates me.
I assume it's an acronym of some sort, but
same as Seed in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, with its crazy capitalisation. Square are saucy with their fonts, or at least were, Now they just add apostrophes and create false C, the C. What the hell is all the C? We're getting into 13 again. But as I say, to bring it back to the point, what would Square need to do to redeem themselves in your eyes?
Remake Final Fantasy VII.
Not make Kingdom Hearts 3 shit.
I agree.
Because
totally
I'm so excited. You might be looking forward to 15. I'm looking. The major announcement at E3 from Square was Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mate, to quote Joey from Friends, put your hands together. Because they were two of my favourite announcements from E3. Totally agree.
I was excited. I was intrigued by 15, but when it's like his Kingdom Hearts, I was like, oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that did to me.
Yeah.
I haven't had any of the handheld ones, I only had 1 and 2.
I've played every one of them, and they're all amazing. Birth by Sleep on the PSP, really good game. You can probably pass on Recoded on the DS, but 356 over 2 days is a really good game. I mean, I know the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD remix is going to take the cutscenes from that and spruce them up to kind of, show the...
Like an animated movie almost.
Essentially to bridge the gap between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were the full games.
Oh, no. You're getting Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, but that's going to be the third
365 is just
the movie.
It's the cutscenes, all HD'd up to bridge up to 2.
Right. I'm so looking forward to that myself. It's going to be a great excuse to go through them again.
Yeah, I played through them just before Recoded came out. I played through everything up to that point, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. Because, unfortunately, I still haven't played through Dream Drop Distance yet. Yeah. I've got it. I've played the first couple of hours of it, but I started playing Gravity Rush.
Right.
That kind of took over.
Cool. I'll say for me, sorry to bring back to the Square point. Agreed, Kingdom Hearts 3 must be awesome. I would love to see a Final Fantasy VII remake.
I would like to let it die.
I'd rather do a Final Fantasy VI remake.
Well,
that's the best story.
Either or, I'd be happy with.
I'd be interested in that because it would be going from a 2D game to more than 7, which would be essentially just making everything look shiny.
That's all I need for 7. People are talking about like a full-on remake, as in like making it look like adventure. And it's like, I don't need that. I need to just take the game as it is and just make everything look a little prettier. Take those models.
PC then?
Well, I already do, and to mod it is a ball. Like I'm telling you now, I've checked it out. It's like it is doable, but you're looking at hours worth of work.
You would have redone them.
Oh, the whole thing. It looks amazing. I've watched videos and it looks incredible. But as I bring it back, Final Fantasy 15. Don't be a cock tease, Nomura. I want this game to be good. As I've said this to you before, man. I feel like a beaten spouse with the Final Fantasy series. It beats me up, and every time they release that new trailer, it's like, maybe he's changed.
Maybe he's like he used to be.
He's gonna trick me right this time. And then no, bang, another black eye. I walked into a door. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there with the Square talk. I'm sure they'll come up again in the future. We've got a lot to say about Square. They've provided us great.
We've got a lot to say on the whole downturn of Japanese RPGs.
That is a special unto itself.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm going to play a piece of music now as we take a short break. This is the prologue from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of the greatest games of all time. Hit it. Monster, you don't belong in this world.
Yes.
It was not by my hands that I've forgotten the line.
It is not by my hands that I am once again given flesh.
That's it.
Yeah, that was the prologue from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think we're all agreed that it's one of the greatest games of all time. If you haven't played it, it's a $5 on the PSN. It's worth every single
Probably
penny.
the equivalent on Xbox Live.
Yeah,
as well.
I have it on both.
Me too.
In
fact, I've got it on the PSN on both my American account and the English one.
I've got on the PSP with Rondo of Blood and obviously an
Dracula
original.
Chronicles.
Yeah.
I have it on my 360 and that is good.
Well, needless to say,
you're not a good enough fan.
I did that on the PlayStation.
There you go.
I've got a Japanese copy of it on the PlayStation.
So yeah, we are all
not like an original one of the like re-release ones.
We are all crazy Symphony of the Night nerds. It's almost cliche to be a Symphony of the Night fan nowadays, but seriously, it's such a classic game you have to play it. But anyway, we're going to bring it on to our regular section. What have we all been playing? I'm going to start things off with Jake.
Yay! Well, Animal Crossing still.
That's all you ever played.
I know. I've got to be a mayor. I've got to be. Those fossils won't dig themselves up.
My town needs me, damn it.
But as evidenced in the debut episode of Jay Can't Sleep, played a bit of Hotline Miami.
Good.
And, good. Really enjoying it. Can't wait to have another night where I don't sleep so I can keep playing it.
I enjoyed the vid, and I see like every Hotline Miami's first player,
I'm terrible at it.
You're having some trouble. It's a tough game, man. It's a very tough game.
In my defence, it was about 3:30 in the morning, and I'd had no sleep.
Well, whose fault's that?
The summer.
Yeah. It's been a hot summer. It really has. It's kept us all up.
But I've just started replaying Batman Arkham Asylum.
Right.
Not necessarily because Origins is going to be out this year, but may as well be. I'm looking forward to playing Arkham Origins as well. Looking forward to giving it a go. But I went with the express purpose of finding the Warden's secret room. Led into the led into the reveal of Arkham City that Rocksteady were surprised no one found out about.
Well, it's quite hard to get to.
But they were still, in this day and age, that doesn't mean anything, does it?
True.
But they were surprised that no one found it. They had to tell people when the Game of the Year one release came out.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry I'm going to have to do this. We're going to have to take an impromptu break to let the dog out for a piss. So I will be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Great big piss.
Hey.
Dogs love to do a great big piss.
And
Jake.
Speaking of dogs pissing, Batman.
Batman. I love
nice
that.
link.
Yeah, brilliantly. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, just when I booted it up again, just having those fucking memories and just remembering how well they captured the essence of Batman in that game.
I think it was a surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
A license that's done a good game. Not only a good game, a great game.
It's actually formed its own canon, essentially, for Batman. It's got its own Batman universe.
Yeah. It's kind of ignored the reboot.
Yeah.
As well that DC did. So it's almost as well like almost the last remnants of the original DC canon. To some extent. Yeah. Obviously, that's not the original.
To me, I've always seen it as a sequel to the animated series. It's like the animated series.
Same cast and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And we watched that as kids, now we're adults, and this is a more adult take on Batman. And I like to see it as a continuation of that. I mean, obviously with Mark Hamill doing the voice of the Joker, I mean, that's changed in the next game.
Yeah.
And obviously.
So is Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Although he is in there.
He is. Yeah,
he is in the game.
I'm intrigued to see what they're doing there because there's been a lot of.
Not Batman's voice in there.
No.
There's a.
Is he not now?
No.
But he is still in the game.
Yeah.
He said he is in the game. So whether or not this will ultimately end up to be flashback.
He'll go there and go. Wow, now I'm ready to face the challenges of Gotham City.
Yeah, right.
I've got my proper voice on.
Or like at the end, it'll just span forward to maybe the start of Arkham Asylum or something. Yeah. Or how he captured the Joker at the start of Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. I have hopes for Origins. It's a new team, so I'm a little bit.
But they are using everything that's already been established.
Yeah.
So I can't see it being bad because. I'm assuming it's the same kind of writers and that because didn't they have a lot of comic writers?
I imagine so. I've not really looked too much into it. The minute I saw Warner Brothers Montreal, I was just a little put off. But that says to me that Rocksteady must be working on something a bit next gen-y. I mean, I obviously none of us can ever know, but that's just my prediction. That's something cool.
On Batman though, in the Arkham universe that they do this third game now coming out this year. It's like, okay, if it's more of the same, I'm happy. I love the first two games. You're doing more, it's even bigger because it's set in Gotham City, Christmas Eve, and all that stuff. So we explain that.
Batman Returns, the movie.
But it was more of the same, good, but this should be the last game if it's more of the same. There's 3 games of it, they do another one. Like Assassin's Creed or
Assassin's Creed. I'm so glad you brought up Assassin's Creed because has anyone seen the recent 13-minute gameplay demo?
No.
And if you want to feel excited about Assassin's Creed again, watch this 13-minute demo.
Really?
It turned me on. I'm not.
It was my favourite franchise.
Oh yeah,
three. Oh, I was so looking forward to it. I thought it would be this fantastic and everything. It's like spend 10 hours doing tutorials. Once you learn the tutorial, you never use the thing again. You never offers it up in a way to use it properly. And like the whole ramps that you have and you control and there's no reason in doing it.
Yeah.
It's just there for nothing.
I fell out of love with Assassin's Creed when 2 never ended because it kept releasing more and more of it.
I like Brotherhood.
Because I really enjoyed the original Assassin's Creed. I know a lot of people aren't fond of it, but I really enjoyed that game. And Assassin's Creed 2 is an amazing game. And then
Brotherhood was really good as well.
And then there was another one. And then there was another one. And then 3 was just boring.
Yeah.
Colonial America is not a very fun setting.
One saving grace was the ship battles. They were so much
well, that is why
that's
what I'm saying.
If it's that, but better and more of it.
In the new demo, it shows a freeform assassination, where like a random mark that you'll get for like you open a pigeon coop and it's like kill this guy.
Yeah.
It's showing one of those missions, and he goes and hunts him down. There's these two dudes hanging out at like a bar, doing the classic Assassin's Creed, wandering around. So that takes one of them out. The other guy legs it, and he fucking bombing it after him, and he ends up at the docks. And you can see this other guy jump on his ship, which takes off, and you go right, boom, seamlessly jump onto your own ship and just take it out of the dock and chase him into the fucking city. And what ensues is a massive ship battle.
That's pretty cool.
And it's instantly I was like, this doesn't even look like an Assassin's Creed game to me anymore. It's a pirate game. Oh my god, I'm gonna get to be a pirate. It looks really, really cool. And they seem to have taken a lot, like when you destroy another ship, you get to choose what you want to do with it. You can either scrap it for parts, repair your own ship, send it back
to the crew.
Yeah, you can save the crew, send the ship back to your own dock to increase your own fleet. It seems like there's a whole big, and it's open world from the beginning. Yeah, I think they may have struck it lucky with this one.
I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
But I'm not that excited yet.
Yeah,
I love meta games inside games. Usually, well, sometimes it's like
they've got to have a point ultimately, though.
Metal Gear, Peace Walker. I found the meta game in that.
It was so much fun. It was.
Never played Peace Walker.
Well, anyway, let's bring it on to Phil. What have you been playing recently, man?
Shadowrun Returns. And what a great game it is. It's fantastic.
Living up to your expectations?
It really is. It's the first game that I've actually got back from a Kickstarter project that I've done, apart from Story War.
Brilliant card game.
Great card game. But it's the first game, a video game that's on Kickstarter, and I've actually got the game for now. And, well, it shows Kickstarter works in my eyes straight off. It's a brilliant little short campaign. It's a short campaign, depending on how you play it, 16, 20 hours maybe.
Right. And that's short.
Oof.
Nowadays, that's fucking huge.
I know, for the skill what Shadowrun was,
fair enough.
It's such a long game, and people were expecting it, I suspect, to be the same. But already, there's people have made an alpha already. It's only been out, I don't know how long. It's
been a week at most.
And there's already an alpha of the SNES version of the game being made by the
Really?
And I started it up, and it's like the old game. They haven't got the old music, but the new music is made by the same composer,
right?
And
so it's got the same feel. It works still.
There's bits of it you can see. I remember that little riff there, and I can't gush about the game enough. It works. There's a few bugs and some of the things probably need tweaking. I might have picked maybe one of the better builds that you can from there, because I've heard from a friend who's played it, he picked the SMG and he's really not happy, and he's like, I'm picking the shotgun next time and it seems well overpowered, and I had to pick the shotgun and I was like, I'm really enjoying this game. Maybe it was like that. It's got cameo from Jake Armitage, the hero of the SNES game, as a PC character that guides you on your way into the game and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic having that.
So, would you recommend it to a Shadowrun noob?
Yeah, if you like old school isometric RPG,
like Baldur's Gate and
that sort of thing,
or like Fallout as well.
And it's turn-based as well. If you like turn-based games, RPGs. If you just like cyberpunk, if you like that type of style, you'll like this game. It's just I can't think of who else would like it.
Yeah.
But If you like those sort of games, you'll really, really.
And not to mention, it's not £40, is it?
No.
It's 15 quid,
Yeah.
and I think that is a reasonable price for a 20-hour campaign.
The campaign you get is a nice little campaign. It's got some good writing and a good story, but the real value comes from having the Steam Workshop and all.
Oh, has it got workshops
support into it, so that's where people have, and it comes with an editor, so you make your own games on level. Straight off, so
that's great.
People have already started.
There's even more value from your 15.
Damn right.
People have started making models already, and new tile sets for places that look different. So you're gonna have so much extra content for free for nothing.
Yeah.
And you've got the option to do it yourself and make your stories and put them out there. So you ever thought of DMing?
That's actually a really
dabble there.
Ooh.
You even
Can you multiplayer?
I don't know if it's got multiplayer on it. I don't know actually.
Because if imagine some sort of online co-op where one person is playing DM and 6 other people.
That would be great.
I would love that. So
I'm surprised that game still hasn't happened.
Yeah, if some indie developer is listening, please give us the D&D game we want, where we can make whatever we want, where one person gets to DM and control it remotely while 6 other people play it on tablets and or laptops.
It's not, even if you can't get to that stage, do it where it's on the Wii U, because the tablet would be perfect for the DM.
That works perfectly as well. Yeah, either or. Just get it.
In fact, I think that was a Penny Arcade.
Yeah, Penny Arcade did a brilliant trick on it. It's a game that every RPG fan craves. It really is.
Yeah.
So Shadowrun Returns is the only thing you've been glutting this week?
Pretty much. I've been playing Prison Architect as well.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to that.
The addiction continues.
I played a bit of Chivalry.
Yes.
And I've been meaning to get back into Last Multiplayer because I haven't played it for since last week.
Oh, right.
I haven't played it in about a month. I've been meaning to jump back on.
I really have to get back into it. It's such good fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing any multiplayer shooters at the moment.
Sounds.
Just before we move on, obviously Shadowrun was a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Any other games you've wanted to go through with Kickstarter? Because I just say because I've just I've just donated some money for Kickstarter for a game called Chroma Squad, I believe it's called. It's by the people who made. Did you ever see the Knights of Pen and Paper?
Oh yeah.
It's by the guys who made that, which was essentially you wear a DM.
Yeah.
But it's particularly relevant to me because it's you play as a stuntman for a Sentai series, which is Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And you've got to make the show.
Right.
By like training your stuntmen, doing the scenarios and stuff like that, buying your special effects and things. And I'm really looking for, it looks like it's going to go through, it's very nearly reached its goal and it's still got like most of the month left to go. I'm just wondering if there's any other Kickstarters people have wanted to put some money into or that they already have.
I'm ashamed to say that I've not donated to any Kickstarters.
I mean, I feel Kickstarter is something we'll talk about again at some point. I think it's a good topic
it's going to keep
because there's been a lot of interesting things.
I've donated a lot. I've Wasteland 2, Tormented, Titan Numeria, Star Citizen, Shadowrun Returns.
I gave some money to Shadows of the Eternals, the original Kickstarter, before that kind of fell. Yeah, I know, but they put it up for like 60% less. It's not going to be episodic anymore. It's going to be one run, and they've already confirmed David Hayter's going to do voices in it.
A lot of people are worried that Kickstarter is going to start to be abused by some of the big publishers.
Yeah, a lot of people kicked off when Double Fine did another Kickstarter.
That's it. But to be honest,
I've donated a massive challenge. XCOM mixed with Game of Thrones. Yes,
please. But the point I was going to make is, I don't really see a problem with big publishers utilising Kickstarter. The way I see it, I think Ken Levine...
That's the way they'd be innovative again.
Well, exactly. If they were to say, for instance, if say Capcom were to say, right, we want to make an old school style Resident Evil with the isometric camera, with the,
backdrops.
All the classic style, but we want to gauge how much people actually want it. So if they said to me, give us £20 now, and it'll be a year or so before the game's made, but you'll get it, and it'll be a type of Resident Evil game you want to play, I'm there, I would much rather do that than take the risk on £40 on Resident Evil 7 or whatever is going to be next. and it'd be another,
Six.
exactly.
I can guarantee now, if Capcom went, we're going to do a Kickstarter for a new Mega Man game, new proper Mega Man game, they would make that immediately.
$13 million.
They would make it immediately.
Yeah.
Because, being a Mega Man fan is so hard nowadays, because Capcom don't seem to like...
And it's not even like...
fans out there that'll donate $50,000 to that.
Exactly.
And it's not even like you're asking for some AAA third-person Mega Man. You're like, you want Mega Man 11 in 8-bit graphics.
Yes.
You know?
9 and 10 were amazing.
You don't want no Mega Man Legends, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mega Man Legends is good, but it's
It's
completely different.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, they had something really good to say on as well. Yeah, it was recently the 25th anniversary of Mega Man, and they celebrated
Street Fighter
it.
Mega Man.
No, they celebrated it with a fan game.
Yeah.
Street Fighter
Street
Cross
Fighter,
Mega Man,
yeah,
which was really good, and a really poor iOS crossover thing, rather than a proper game.
What if the Pokemon crossover is with Mega Man?
Oh no!
That's
No.
Revealed now, is it?
It has been revealed.
It's so lame.
It's like a horse racing sim crossover thing that's got nothing to do with Pokemon.
So you'll be riding Pokemon.
No, it's got nothing to do with
No,
Pokemon.
it's just horses.
Why did they say it's a crossover?
Because it's
Oh,
Game Freak
because it's
crossing
game.
over with... Yeah.
It's lame. Check it out. But anyway, you mentioned iOS there, so I'm going to bring that
back to you, sorry.
To what I've been playing. I picked up the Phoenix Wright
Oh my god,
trilogy.
Mike.
I did it, man.
As soon as you said the iOS, I thought it might
Is this why Bioshock Infinite has not been played?
No. The reason Bioshock Infinite has not been played is because Jay very kindly bought me a copy of Dark Souls. I'm sure anyone familiar with our channel has been watching my playthrough on the UnlockableZ YouTube channel. So I've been playing a lot of that. But I found out that the trilogy was on iOS. It's a series I've always been meaning to play. And when it's $11.99 for 3 games, it's like, that's a steal right there. And
such good game.
I've played the very first chapter, and it's made me laugh. It's made me think.
I never actually played Racist Early games.
Play
They're
them.
like police stories.
It's
a police story back in the day, you know?
At least I remember.
You find the evidence and.
Basically, it's two stages. You have your investigation stage, which is like point and click. You're looking for evidence on the crime scenes and stuff. And then you have your court scenes, which is
using your evidence against people.
Yeah, and going through, they will give you their testimony, and you've got to look for the flaws in it based on the information you've got. Basically, it'll bring up each phrase, and then you can either choose to like object to it or
objection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or present evidence with a take that. No.
It is instantly like the first case. Obviously, it holds your hand a lot.
The first case. That's my main problem with most Capcom games. The first level in most of their games is a tutorial.
Yeah, it's a whole
which makes the next one really annoying if you're already familiar with them.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I've got to say, it was still brilliant. It still made me laugh so hard. The bit where the dude rips his wig off, that was fantastic. And basically, I really enjoyed playing that. That's something I'm going to get to grips with in the next week. Been playing a bit more MK, as I say, picked it up on Steam, bit of money off, so I'm looking forward to getting into a few more scraps online. Went on last night, 9 fights, 8 victories, 1 loss. It would have been 500 victories, 0 losses. But went back on today, had a few more fights, won most, then I fought a few guys who were a bit more on the level, still took most victories, and then one dude who absolutely rinsed me with Kung Lao and Johnny Cage.
Cheap characters.
There are no cheap
leave Johnny
characters.
Cage alone.
There are no cheap
He makes
characters.
this look good.
People.
Yeah, exactly. Only cheap people. But so I'm glad to be getting back into that again. I'm looking forward to getting back into Injustice again sometime soon.
Should have brought that down for
Yes, I know. I was hoping you'd have the gift of force. I
forgot.
I'm picking it up tomorrow.
Bring it tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, sort it out. But so I've been playing them. Walking Dead 400 days.
I've still not played 400 days yet.
Oh god, I was going to put a spoiler warning up and everything because I talked about it. It's only 2 hours long and it's worth every second you play of it.
Alright, Phil, Bioshock.
Yeah.
Which has been out longer
Would you kindly not talk about that, please? Yeah. But anyway, both of those games are subject for another episode. But yeah.
I would very much like to not even The Walking Dead in general, but just Telltale Games in general and their commitment to the point and click, the adventure game, and they seem to be the only company who's doing episodic gaming right.
Oh yeah.
So I'd like to bring that.
It took a while to find the feet.
It really did.
Yeah.
But
they've done it now.
That's something I would really like to come back to at some point.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, The Walking Dead is one of the finest games of last year.
Really?
And it's just because it's the story.
Yeah.
Tells. That's what makes it so great.
Exactly. Yeah. The characters were amazing.
Yeah.
They were well rounded. They were just they were just there.
And it might sound a little controversial, but I've enjoyed The Walking Dead, the Telltale game, a little more than I have the more recent comic books. Really enjoy the comic book. It's a great series, but as you just said, the caliber of writing. I've
said this from the start since I finished, because I basically read through the entirety of the comic up to that point, then played the game, and then started watching the show. And Lee, the main character from the game, I personally think is a more likeable character than Rick.
Despite his shadowy past and all
I liked Lee as a character more than Rick.
I can totally see why. Rick. I mean, Rick has been around a lot longer, to be fair. So he's had more ups and downs than Lee. But I totally see. As a protagonist,
but I will agree, because at the start Rick was really likeable.
Oh yeah, totally. The Walking Dead. What's great about it is it shows how the apocalypse changes people. I
suppose it makes sense because it's about the same time when you're looking at when Lee's doing his stuff. Obviously, Lee's right at the beginning.
That's right. Well, the series, the first series of the Telltale game covers a fairly large amount of time. Because there is gaps between. There are time jumps between each episode. But anyway, as you just said, Telltale Games, that's probably best subject for another day, because I'm sure we've all got a lot to say on that matter.
I love Telltale.
So I think we're going to wrap things up there. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. As I say, keep an eye on the channel. There's going to be more of my playthrough of Dark Souls. There's going to be more, hopefully, of Jay not sleeping, so you can see a bit more of his Hotline Miami.
Hopefully for content-wise, but not hopefully because I really need me sleep.
I don't know. I mean, is Phil going to record the game for us?
I'm looking into getting the stuff to start doing it. So
good.
I'll start recording a few gaming sessions of chivalry and the like.
I definitely think we need to have a...
Just going back to something Phil mentioned earlier, Story War. I wouldn't mind recording us playing Story War once we get some cameras together.
To be fair, Story War is something that... Do you know what? Google Story War card game. Have a little read, and if it doesn't tickle your fancy, then, well, you're wrong.
Yes. And if it doesn't, it will after we show you how it works.
Yeah. We will show you how it destroys friendships and then rebuilds them within minutes. It's fantastic. But anyway, as I say, keep an eye on the YouTube, keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter for updates, all that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. It's been good speaking to you. I've been Mike.
I've been Phil.
And I've been Jay.
And we've all been Unlockables. Take it easy. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.